Good morning. It's wonderful to see you all here this morning. It is a beautiful summer day. We are in the coolness of the air conditioning provided by Woodland Chapel to make you comfortable. If you get too cold, put on a sweater. Welcome to Woodland Chapel. I'm Reverend Moore, and we're here today to celebrate the joy and the life and the beauty and the glorious, wonderful activities that we are. So, what is the first thing we get to do here? I guess I get to make announcements. Is there anyone here for the first time? Hi, Crystal. I've already invited Crystal to come down for some refreshments after service. And I think we've got a pamphlet for information about the chapel. Okay. Please join us in our fellowship this afternoon, for snacks and conversation right after service. Next Sunday is potluck luncheon. You're invited to bring a dish to share and just enjoy the good food. It's always great. Our next garden work party is Saturday, July 12th, 9:30 to 11:30. Bring gardening tools if you can, and there are tools here too. Like I say, also on the second Saturday, on July 12th, instead of a crafting plan, we plan to do a little cleaning, organizing, tackling the storage room, and other projects. Some of you may be familiar with the little room at the bottom of the stairs that is all concrete and has a mop bucket in it. That one will get cleaned out, I understand. The rummage sale is getting close, July 17, 18, and 19. Thursday, the 17th, drop off all of your donations. And we need volunteers to organize and price the items. Please speak with Kathy Daniels or a member of our and Satya. Why didn't I get it? Okay, so I knew there was somebody else. Where's Satya? She's right here.
We do need people to sign up for your RScP.
Yeah. Thank you, Kathy. Yes, I've seen the sheets. There are some names on it, but we need a good-sized crew. We have a barbecue lunch on July 12th. That should be fun. I understand the burner is working. A barbecue lunch?
July 20th.
July 20th. That's right. Right. Did I say that?
You said 12.
I did.
But it's the 20th.
You're just making sure we're awake.
Sometimes my mouth is faster than my brain. Good. Child care is available during the service. There are confidential prayer request forms that you can have filled out and put in a box in the library or drop one in an offering plate. And if you'd like to serve here at Woodland Chapel anyway, we have lots of people who are doing service. It's really amazing. I came in last week and Kevin was out there sawing away at the foliage and getting stuff all lined up. It's really, he just did it on his own. And speaking of volunteers, volunteers are really the essence of the chapel. Think of the fact that you're a volunteer just by being here. And I would like to take this moment to recognize a special volunteer, someone who volunteered on our Board of Trustees for years as secretary, has instigated this craft project Saturdays and organized them, and has done so much for our chapel. If River Song would come up. Oh, you are here!
Talk about me.
Joey, yes! I'm talking about you.
It's for next, you're really gonna put me to work this next month.
You've done a lot of work already.
Thank you.
Oh, goodness. I think it's a good time for congregational song. What do you think? Art?
Let's do it.
Okay,
I love
you
that
gonna
plan.
stand up for that?
If you can, and you're willing and able, please stand and sing along with me. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. I am free, I am unlimited. Right now, right now. I am free, I am unlimited. There are no chains that bind me. song that I wrote. I've sang it a few times. I think you all know it. Sacred Being. Well, some of you might know it. Some of you might not. I see my value. I see my worth. I know my life has deeper meaning. Yes, I am here now for a reason. I am a sacred being. Will you sing it to your neighbor now? I see your value. I see your worth. I know your life has deeper meaning. As you are here now for a reason. You are a sacred being. Our value. I see our value. I see our worth. I know our lives have deeper meaning. Yes, we are here now for a reason. We all are sacred beings. I see my value. I see my worth. I know my life has deeper meanings. Yes, I am here now for a reason. I am a sacred being. You are a sacred being. You are a sacred beings. One more, we all are. We all are sacred beings. Thank you.
Good morning. Oh, let's just breathe in. And just breathe in the love of God with your breath. Feeling it just diffuse throughout your entire body. And as you release your breath, just allow any tension to just dissolve within you. And know with me that we are here for a reason. Each and every one of us are integral to this planet. We have purpose. We are beloved children of God, here to express God in all its magnificence. And today I just am so full of joy with this magnificent day that the Lord has given. That we know in our hearts that we are here by divine urge, ready to hear something that will change our lives, that will open up our eyes to a new way of thinking. We are here to reimagine enchantment. We are here to see that enchantment that we had as children blossom and come forth in us as adults. That we go back to that sacred space and find that joy, that perfect joy that is inside of each and every one of us, always ready to burst forth and to become part of your everyday existence. And so I am so full of gratitude for everyone that is present today, whether online or in person, and know that they are here to hear the word, to hear something that resonates within them. And so with this and with this gratitude, I release my word to the law, knowing that everything is unfolding in divine perfection, that we are divine perfection incarnate. So join me now in saying, and so it is. If you will join me now for the group affirmation, which is in your program. I shift my focus from the material world to a higher plane. And in this moment, I find magic, and so it is.
Everything's adaptable. I love it. Today, we're thinking about don't fit in, fit out. Something called The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. He quotes, "Our job in this lifetime is not to shape ourselves into some ideal we imagine we ought to be, but to find out who we already are and become it." And in Ernest Holmes' The Basic Ideas of Science of Mind, he says, "Automatically you get rid of the negatives by implanting of positives. Negatives cannot exist when positives fill the space. When the sunshine of love and confidence fills your whole being, the darkness of the negative has to disappear." They say there's no such thing as darkness, it's only the absence of light. Doesn't stand on its own. That's what he says. We do not change the world by denying what is broken, any more than we can fix a toothache by denying the cavity. In many ways, life conditions us to color inside the lines, such that many never discover the truth that they are divine beings. We compete with the Joneses and do our best to get our grass to be as green as the grass we imagine on the other side, which we see as better or even perfect. Hate that word. If God wanted to fit in, why would it bother to incarnate as the diverse types of fruits, vegetables, animals, plants, or people? Why would a God that fits in even bother to incarnate at all? Life is the very definition of diversity. Our unique appearances, ways of communicating, dancing, cooking, and creating should be embraced, nurtured, and celebrated, not denied for the sake of fitting in. Fitting in is an attempt to belong. But we must first belong to ourselves. The creation of the beloved community happens when the sense of belonging we accept for ourselves is shared and spread to such a degree that others begin to feel for themselves the love of belonging to themselves. I felt a need to read that sentence twice, but it was so hard to get out, I'm just going to let it sink in for a moment. Can't make it. What if we colored outside the lines so powerfully and passionately that the lines dissolve and the vision of what can be becomes the reality of what is? That sounds like the applied practice of religious science. Wow. There's only one Michelangelo, Einstein, Siddhartha, Mother Mary, or Jesus, but there are many divine geniuses, Buddhas, and Christs, and you are one. Bonus affirmation. Wherever I am, wherever I go, the infinite oneness is, which means I am inseparable from it, and I belong.
beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never fear those mountains in the distance, and never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might mean taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some hell-bent heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, sing with me, you know you want to. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Thank you.
We're privileged this morning to hear from a very special person in our chapel, a person who is a practitioner and has spoken before, and a person who is also treasurer of the church, who produces that lovely program that you hold or have held in your hands, a person who volunteers and supports us in so many. I've seen her down in the hospitality kitchen on days when there's no one else here. And she's busy about fixing up things and ordering things and organizing. Please join me in warmly welcoming Cheryl Ostrander.
I have a lovely perch here, so I want to take advantage of it. Well, thank you for that. It was very moving. Yes, that was a perfect song. Now I'm done crying. Okay. You know, every time I do this, I'm reminded of a story, and if you've heard me say it before, you feel free to roll your eyes, because I think of it. I think of it whenever I do a talk, because years ago I heard a man say that he had a not enough problem. He didn't think he was enough to do his talk. He said if he knew he was enough, he would come to us and we would just be together. Instead, he felt like he had to do something special, something important, something unusual, something unworldly, I guess. I don't know. And so I say to you, I'm glad we get to just be here together and share, because I'm probably going to say things you've heard before. I'm probably going to say things that you already know. But sometimes just the right moment, just the right words will touch you a different way. You might even hear things I don't say. Really, I've heard speakers say that they were approached after a talk and said, you said this thing and it was wonderful. And they said, I never said that, but you heard it, so it must be true. As you know, this month's theme is based on the book by Thomas More, The Re-Enchantment of Everyday Living, or Everyday Life, rather. If you're familiar with More's work, you know that he is all about the care and feeding and nurturing of your soul. Now, I won't try to tell you much about the soul, because a lot of people are a little confused about what that actually means. It means different things to different people, but to me it's the essence of who we are that lives on after the physical form makes another decision. So I'll leave it alone at that. So he talks about enchantment being an element of that care and feeding of your soul. Now, re-enchantment implies that there has been disenchantment. Whoa. Yeah, I heard that. You're with me on that one. That's we all know about disenchantment, don't we? Headlines. I hear them. I hear a story. I build on that story. I make my own story based on that story. You know, I could go on and on. Mark Twain is credited with saying, to a man who only has a hammer, everything he encounters begins to look like a nail. So, if you can relate to any of that, I certainly do. Brace yourself. I'm going to throw a few statistics out for you. Scientists have actually come up with this. These are not mine. Each of us has about 60,000 thoughts per day, one per second, during every waking hour. That doesn't count when you're dreaming. 95% of those same thoughts are the same over and over and over again. And over again. So, is it any wonder that glee and delight are really hard to come by as adults, having taken a few trips around the sun? So, we're going to put that aside, because that's not what we're here about. Enchantment is a word we don't often hear anymore. I think it's kind of a throwback. I like what Reverend Moore did. What he talked about awe. I think awe really describes that, having a sense of awe and amazement. But we're working with enchantment, so we'll just keep talking about it over and again. I was a little off-put by the idea of enchantment because it implies putting somebody under a spell, hypnotizing, mesmerizing. And there are people in the outside world that think that New Thought people are doing that all the time. I've actually encountered a few who thought we were just not really too cool. We were agents of the devil, actually, and I don't think that was, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair. I think that moments of enchantment lift our spirits out of the everyday. Now, we all know about the excitement that babies have, the discovery, and we have an opportunity periodically. I think she's probably having some dad time today. Yes, good for her. Ari and Peter's baby girl, Phoebe Elizabeth. And some of you have met her, many of you have seen her. We've known her all her life, It's really exciting when she comes to stay with us because she has that sense of awe that babies have. And any of you that have raised children from infancy know what that can look like. You know, it's everything's new, everything's exciting, everything goes in their mouth. You all know, most of you probably know Donna Stevens. Hi, Donna. Yeah, that's Donna right there. She's a practitioner as well. And one Sunday, a memorable Mother's Day Sunday, Phoebe was here. Now, she started out being enchanted by Donna. Now, we're all enchanted by Donna, aren't we? Yeah, I think so. But Phoebe had a special enchantment because she got to have hands-on enchantment, you know. But that wasn't quite enough. She had a little trouble sitting through the service, as some of us do. You know, we get antsy, we want to go out and have a snack or play. But Phoebe was a little fussy. And I just think this really touches my heart to remember this, and I think some of you were probably here that day. She was fussy, and Ari took her and put her in this little papoose thing, and she played the piano and sang, and it comforted Phoebe. And that's one of those little things, those tidbits I put in my spiritual scrapbook that I carry around with me in my heart. And sometimes I have to open that up and use it when things get a little dicey, you know, things get a little too exciting. So thank you for that. Thank you for sharing her with us. And yes, that's just an amazing, amazing experience, and she's just a delight. And her sister, Nora, not to forget Nora, she's just as bright as a penny, and she's, well, brighter than a penny. Pennies are a little bright. She's very bright, and she's exciting, and she's excited about life, and that's always exciting for me. Now, we're all on this journey together, and we're in different places in our lives. And while we do have infinite possibilities, and we know that to be true, and when we forget, remind each other that we have infinite possibilities available to us, there are certain physical laws at work. Otherwise, I would be levitating right now. So gravity, that does come into play. And there's a few others. But I think what I'd like to remind you of, or you probably already remember, but I would like to address is the reality that we don't necessarily have that freshness of perspective that Phoebe has. You know, we can at times go to places in our memories and in our minds that take us to that freshness, take us to that magic. But that's why we're here. And I think that's why we came this morning. Many of you came because you wanted to hear about magic. Now, I'm not going to do any sleight of hand and try to distract you and move something around. What is that, shell game that magicians play? I'm not going to do anything to try to fool you. I'm just going to address some issues or address some situations that can offer you some tools. I'm all about the tools. While we don't have that freshness of mind, we earned our place in our life. We earned all the knowledge and experience that brought us to the place where we are. I personally would not give up those lessons. I wouldn't want to learn them all over again for sure. I certainly wouldn't. I have a few gray hairs. I really do. I earned them. And I earned my place in the universe right now. Now, Thomas More talks about a few things, and I'm only going to address a few of them because his book is like about this thick, and I don't think you want to stay till, 5 o'clock to hear all of the things that Thomas More would tell us. But his book is available online, and it really has some things to offer. I've read a few of his works. Spirituality. We come here to enrich our spirituality and to share it with each other. And he addresses the fact that enchantment is actually, its foundation is in spirituality. And so I would describe it as the ability to step away from the material world, the buzz and the hum, and move to the hum of spirit of God. So Moore's avenues to enchantment are just a few here. Nature. Nature, he tells us, is the first and finest teacher. Okay. We're really blessed to have so much of it around us here in Oregon. We moved here because there were a lot of trees. There weren't so many trees where we came from in California, and there were fewer and fewer as time went on. So we came here for the trees. Yes, you guys were a bonus, okay. But the trees were what we came for, and the rain. I love the rain. It's really good for my hair. So, and that's important to me too. So we have all these right here. Just look outside the fireside room out the window. You can see them. You don't have to go far. And nature is just all around us in the creek, and the it's just wonderful. It's amazing. And the meditation garden, it's just a place to sit and relax and sometimes do a little weeding. My husband, Quant, described his first visit to Muir Woods, and this was an occasion where he went by himself, and he talked to me about how he felt God all around him. God within him and around him and all through him. That was an experience that he's never forgotten, and it's not something we can really describe to each other when we have that kind of experience. It's just kind of in here. It's part of that spiritual scrapbook I keep. And water. Oh, don't get me started on water. We live near the ocean in California, and I do miss being that close. Philosophers sometimes refer to water as the element of the soul. Lakes, streams, the ocean. I enjoy the energy that I feel when I'm near the ocean. It's something that I go there mentally sometimes. I go there mentally. Now, he talks about sources of stability, and I don't know exactly why he calls them that, but he talks about music, books, and small rituals. Music, it sets a mood, and as we felt today, Ari, she always brings that wonderful inspiration with her, and I can't say enough about it. It transforms. It takes us out of that, my shoes are too tight, did I turn off the iron when I left, the dog wants to be fed and I'm not there to do it. It takes me out of those things that are everyday experiences that need to be attended to, but sometimes we just need a break. Now, music, when I was a little girl, my mother liked musicals, and so I grew up with a lot of those musicals out of the 40s, and I don't know if any of you have ever seen anything with Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, or even know who that is. They danced, and they wore sparkly stuff, and what little girl doesn't like sparkly stuff, sparkly, yeah. And that was how I grew up. Part of my experience as a child. And books transport us out of our living room We have a granddaughter that talked about a friend she had that just got her out of her room where she was reading all the time. But I would say that she was leaving her room all the time in those books. They give us an opportunity, they inspire us, they do a lot of things for us. And so Moore calls those part of the source of stability and small rituals. Now, we have a lot of small rituals around here. We're going to have a small ritual after the service. We call it hospitality, snacks. We're going to have a barbecue. That's a small ritual. We also have some that have no food involved. Believe it or not, we do things that don't involve food, and they're ways to celebrate. They're ways to remember. They're opportunities to mark time. Now, my dad, he was an avid reader. He traveled across the country during the Depression, doing different jobs, and he loved to tell stories about those jobs. He worked in a plant where they made raisins. He unpacked fruit, and he got to see tarantulas. But he talked about those experiences, and he shared them with me growing up. He also shared humor. He was always looking for what was funny in life. I won't try to share any of his favorite jokes, Reverend Don. I think you two would have had quite a time together. He was very independent and lived alone for a number of years after my mother's passing, and he was in good health. One day we were on the phone with him, Quint and I, and on two different lines, and we were having a group conversation, and he said, and I wondered, what if I needed to come live with you? Well, that was said, and we made it happen. I don't remember how long it took us to make it happen. It was a very elaborate, moving experience, I have to tell you. There were friends involved, there were trailers, there was furniture put in the guest room, all the things that to make him feel at home and give him his own little nest. During that time he was with us, there were dinners. He had one grandchild and his wife living in town, so there were dinners with them. There were phone calls with other family members. There was just a lot of conversation and stories about his trip across the country and his experiences. There were lunches. Quint's boss had very liberal lunch arrangements. He was self-employed at the time. So he came home and he made lunch for him every day. He had fresh tomatoes out of the garden. There's a special enchantment around homegrown tomatoes in our house. They're celebrated every year, and I'm sure they're going to happen this year too. He lived with us for 2 weeks before he made his transition. And some folks were surprised. They thought he was in excellent health. His friends back in Orange County, California, he was not. And he made the decision to spend those weeks with us. He told me one day that he would wake up at night and hear the wind chimes. And he knew he wasn't alone. And that is enchantment. I'm going to close with a short reading from Chicken Soup for the Soul. Sachi is the title of this piece by world-renowned Olympian and author. I had not heard of him, but I certainly appreciate this piece. Soon after her brother was born, little Sachi began to ask her parents to leave her alone with the new baby. They were a little concerned. What did a 4-year-old want to do alone with a baby? You know, maybe, she didn't seem jealous. She seemed to have very tender feelings for him, but they were a little bit concerned. But eventually, they said okay. She'd shown great kindness to him, so they said okay. Elated, she went into the baby's room and shut the door. But it opened just a crack, just enough for the curious parents to peek in. They saw little Sachi walk quietly up to the baby brother, put her face close to his, and say quietly, "Baby, tell me what God feels like. I'm starting to forget." So I say to you today, lean closer, lean together, embrace each other, treat each other with kindness. No one needs to forget what God is about and what God feels like. Thank you.
Got me with that. Cried. All right. This is a song called Courage from the Heart that I wrote. Thank you.
Well, that was an enchanting talk, wasn't it? It was really good. I enjoyed it. And from that sense of enchantment comes a sense of well-being. And the well-being comes from the sense of the heart being alive and full of energy and joy. And we get to share that. We get to share that here every Sunday. We get to hear it from Cheryl, Dawn, other speakers who might be here. And we just want to take this opportunity to allow that enchantment, that feeling of life and energy to continue and to grow here at the chapel by supporting it through our gifts and our celebration of life as an offering. So if you would turn with me to your program and look at your offertory affirmation, we'll read it together out loud. Divine love moving in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God. And so it is.
I am grateful. I am grateful for abundance in my life. I am grateful. I am grateful for the abundance in my life. I am grateful. I am grateful for abundance in my life. I am grateful. I am grateful for the abundance in my life.
Gratitude is a hallmark of my soul. Join me in being grateful for the beautiful experience of life itself, of all the goodness, the enchanting and wonderful things, people, places, for the goodness that surrounds us. As we celebrate this, let us say together, and so it is. If you'd like to stand, we can go to our prayer of protection, which is also in the program. And then we will sing together, let there be peace on earth. And heaven knows we could use more peace. Okay, let's say the prayer. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Let's join hands and sing.